or a demand for the He said that no dog in the place, but that the millions.
Isaac Sssemakadde ye Pulezidenti omulonde owa Uganda Law Society. Congratulations. Wabaddewo vaawo mpitewo mu kalulu kano akabadde wakati w'abantu bano basatu naye nga kubadde kasinze kweyolekeramu embiranye ebadde wakati wa Isaac Sssemakadde ono nga yeeyita Legal Rebel era nga ye yawangudde akalulu kano yawangudde n'obululu 2,100 ate eyamuddiridde ngono gwe babadde ku mbiranye nga ye Isaac munne ayitibwa Isaac Atukunda yavuddeyo n'obululu 898. Lwaki Isaac Sssemakadde yawangudde ekifo kino ekibaddemu abadde ayitibwa Oundo Bernard nga yabadde President owa Uganda Law Society? Isaac Sssemakadde ffenna tumumanyi, abatamumanyi mujjukira Isaac Sssemakadde nga y'omu ku badde basinga okulwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu era nga abadde ayogera nnyo ne ku nsonga eza corruption mu Uganda. Isaac Sssemakadde ono tutera omujjukira naddala we yakyazibwako ku TV emu eya NTV Uganda. Interview eno ngenda gibawa we yali nga bamukyazizza n'omubaka wa Kampala Central ngono ne Muhammad Nsereko. Ebyaliwo era interview ya trendinga ngenda kugikulekera. Naye nga Isaac Sssemakadde yani Isaac Sssemakadde ngonono aweza emyaka egy'obukulu 40. Yazaalibwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 15 omwezi ogwa Septemba omwaka 1984 era ono ng'akulidde mu Kampala muno era nga womanyi nti is a city born. Yasoma bulungi era nga kuva mu primary paka university abadde nga akolera waggulu nnyo era nga wano nno we yava mu primary secondary n'agenda ku university n'agenda okusoma ebyamateeka ono nno nga yafuna first class era n'agenda ne mu LDC nayo n'avaayo. Ono nno ng'aweza emyaka 4 alina omukyala naye tamanyikiddwa. Ono nazze alwanirira ensonga nnyingi nnyo ezikwatagana kulwanira eddembe ly'obuntu era nga ye co-founder owa Legal Brain Trust. Kino nno kitongole kya bwannakyewa ekiraba nga kigezaako okulwanirira obukulembeze obugendera ku mateeka saako n'okulwanyisa enguzi n'okulwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu. Kino nno ng'ayita mu Legal Brain Trust asobodde okuyamba abantu bangi, asobodde okwogera ku nsonga nnyingi ezo eziruma Uganda. Y'ensonga lwaki bannamateeka bangi nnyo bamuwagidde okulaba nga atwala ekifo kino nga President owa Uganda Law Society. Celebration wetiwe yabadde era nga akalulu kakubiddwa mu bunkenke bw'abadde obw'amaanyi ku Speak Resort Munyonyo. Ng'embiranye nga we mugambye nti yabadde wa Isaac Sssemakadde saako ne Isaac Atukunda. Bagenze okumaliriza okubala obululu nga Isaac Sssemakadde the Legal Rebel, omusajja yamenya amateeka oba ya breaking the odds n'asalawo okusiba enviiri. Kino nno kirabikanga ekintu ekitasangika naddala mu bannamateeka era nga ze ya transforminga abamu ne batandika n'omugamba nti oba alabika aliko ekikyamu naye nga is a sound man. Akola bulungi, obwongo bwe bukola bulungi era nga asobodde okwogera ku nsonga nnyingi nnyo ezo eziruma Bannayuganda. Let me leave you with this celebration, then after ngenda kuwa interview eno eyali wakati wa Isaac Sssemakadde ng'akyaziddwa ku NTV we yasesebula omubaka wa Parliament owa Kampala Central onono nga ne munnamateeka ye Muhammad Nsereko.
My sister Diana who called me in the middle of an idea conference in Mexico and said, "I'm sorry, Isaac, I wasn't familiar with your game. But in Mexico they hate us and our board. 40 lawyers in Mexico asked Diana, who is your candidate? And if that moment she got a light bulb, First Corinthians. I thank also members of the public who we serve for their interest in the proceedings and for their support in this campaign. Even as I am preaching now, I remember the moment to meditate. In all Kampala myself. A very beautiful thing, young lady. Today, we get back on track. Both levels, the next step shall be back. It is in the public interest, therefore, to increase access to justice. As the public interest authority formally recognized for efforts that made by the society, it was clear to me from the start of the leadership campaign, the back leadership campaign, that increased access to justice must be a primary goal of the radical movement. So how do we proceed? We proceed. For those of you who ask exactly how, for those of you who didn't understand the whole means, I give you the granularity tonight.
Kale, ng'omaze okulaba celebration eyo yabadde ku Speak Resort era ne byayogedde ng'amaze okuwangula ekifo kino ekyobwa president era ensonga yagambye agenda kufuba nnyo okulaba nga alwanyisa obuli bw'enguzi obujjudde mu kitongole ekiramuzi saako ne mu balamuzi. Kale no ng'ekyo kivuddeko, let me leave you with this interview gye baakola wakati ng'akyaziddwa ku NTV Uganda era nga wano yali aliko ne panelist munne ng'onono yali Muhammad Nsereko. this speech or this interview trended so much like 2 years ago. So njagala njikuleetere ate naawe osobole okuddamu okugyekkaanya.
I've listened to all the problems Honorable Nsereko has mentioned, and they're adequately catered for. So it begs the question, what is Honorable Nsereko's true intention? It is to promote a dictatorship. Honorable Nsereko must look in the mirror, must face Ugandans and us and tell them whether he supports dictatorship or he doesn't.
Actually, the issue is that
I think Nsereko is going back home.
His utterances are the mere justifications as to why this law must be there.
In what sense? Why?
I've told him that, in my opinion, I'm strengthening the law. And the reason has been, one, that people have not been meted by justice because, one, there are lesser penalties.
But has there been a prosecution? Before you say there are lesser penalties, has there been a prosecution?
You want to...
No, Honorable Nsereko. You have a duty to give evidence. You are using the parliamentary hazard. Give us one example that motivates your bill regarding a child abuse.
Can you stop
one
the
example?
Noise? Okay, shouting won't help.
Patrick. Okay, honestly, the people deserve one example.
The rules of engagement on this show are going to speak
one example.
I think if the young man wants
one
to
example
shout,
relating children.
If this young man wants to shout, he can get another audience.
He's not
We're asking for one example regarding child abuse.
Gentlemen,
one case of a constituent.
Gentlemen,
one case of a constituent.
Gentlemen, we're going to speak one at a time. Isaac, it is Muhammad now on the floor.
Now, if you have a program where the young man can shout, you get that one, so that he shouts.
A young man in shock. About your degradation.
Therefore,
Patrick, the question was one example of a child abuse, a constituent of his who failed to get justice.
You don't have to worry
one
about
example
that.
Of children's pictures.
There are many.
One example.
There are many.
One example.
There is Mulindwa, Andrew,
one example of a constituent.
There is Mr. Mulindwa,
and there was prosecution.
Thank you. There was Seremba James.
There was prosecution.
And they are saying
give us the example.
The law is not sufficient for them to protect their children.
Take us through their journey
now,
in the justice
when we
system.
Have a public
take
hearing,
us through their journey in the justice system.
I think when the
take
young
us
man
through their
wants
journey
to shout
in the justice system, not just throw a name.
Not here.
One example, a justice story. It starts with a police station, court.
You're not here to do drama.
And the sentence. What was the sentence in Seremba's case and Mulindwa's case?
But you see,
what was the sentence in Seremba's case?
Do you want to hear?
What was the sentence in Mulindwa's case?
So,
and how was it inadequate?
You see,
Honorable Nsereko has been sent by Honorable Anita Among. He has been sent to this station, to the parliament, by his friend.
This speech oba eno interview yali ekwatagana ku freedom of speech and expression. Recently waliwo bill gye bagoba eno nno basooka ne bagiyisa mu parliament, Museveni n'agiteekako omukono, then ne bagenda ne bagichallenginga mu court era court ne ginalifyinga. Etteeka lino lyali likwatagana ku freedom of speech, engeri abantu gye be-expressingamu naddala ne computer misuse, something like that. Era nga Muhammad Nsereko yali agireese, yali awangudde, but again bannamateeka ne bavaayo ne bagenda ne bagichallenginga in court era court n'egisazaamu. Kati nno gwe gwali omulamu omukulu ku NTV Uganda, naye engeri Ssemakadde gye yali yeeyisaamu mu interview eno oba engeri gye baali baconductingamu interview eno, it was kyatuuka ne kirabika nga yali afa kangezeeku kwogana, like kuyisaawo ddoboozi lye, era kino nno kyatabula nnyo Muhammad Nsereko ng'agamba ono tali kwogera ku real issues wabula afa kulaba nga awulirwa oba afa kulaba nga awoganira waggulu.
That can transform this world. But if technology is not well used, I don't even would like to call it abuse. If it's not well used, then you may fail to harness. Now, the event of social media brought dynamics into technology. Of course, we in Africa fell into a space that we were not prepared for. The computer started in the 60s, 70s in the modern countries. There people have been prepared for this, and society have had all laws regulated around that usage. It's something that is new to us, just like the evolution of our democracy. I was in Parliament the other week defending the rights of our young brother, Kakwenza. And for sure, I have no doubt I stand on his side, and he knows it as an individual, because we've been talking every now and then. So this is not in any way coined with that, because I started talking about this in 2016. Then I first tried to seek leave in 2017 and 2018, but now I got the leave. Now it coincides at the moment, of course, where there's this drama around it, the torture, ABCD, but torture has been going on, even on not only on victims of their freedom of speech, but to those that have been under the suspicion of terrorism. You know, the Senfukas, you know, the Biamukama, you remember the FDC mayor of Kamwenge, and other people, the infamous Nalufenya, to mention but a few. So talking about torture, it hasn't started today, but also talking about that thin line from Stella Nyanzi. It didn't start with Stella. You remember the Mwenda?
Yes, you know, that's what the problem is. What you think is an insult, somebody may call it an insult.
No.
It will be a subject of interpretation.
That's okay. You see.
Then how do you deal with the subject? Because somebody can interpret it differently.
You see, Kamara, I'll give you an example. What you may interpret as an insult, to tell me as a leader, I'll give you an example. To tell me that, Honorable Mohammed Nsireko, you may end up like Saddam Hussein. Of course.
Okay.
Ending up like Saddam Hussein,
but
a second.
Do we agree that there could be a difference of interpretation on what is an insult and a criticism?
No, but we've said anything malicious.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Now, malice,
all right.
I can go to you. Malice, in its own interpretation, is any utterance that is, first of all, it must be false in its nature, and two, meant to ridicule me in society.
Yeah, but somebody,
and degrade me.
For example, President Museveni, who is supposed to be like the fountain of honor, can also, understand your statement to mean that you're equating him to the people he sees that he's miles away from.
Then we go to the courts of law.
And he knows that you have abused him.
Then we go to the courts of law. Because even up to now, he has the chance to do it.
So you know that you, in the proposition you're making, you could have actually committed a crime.
Absolutely.
You could have committed a crime.
Absolutely.
In the eyes of
and Kamara, can I tell you, if you think you're going to use such a statement, not to let me do the right thing, you're just dreaming on this set. Because I know every statement that I used in my life.
I don't have to take everything because there's a particular
context. Yes,
that you've already said.
If President Museveni continues to listen to advisors, and I repeat because I can say it, and that is positive criticism, which I've said on the floor of Parliament and here, that authorize the use of force on people. Okay. I stand by my statement. Just a second. First, because it's factually true that the LDU.
We get it. You stand by your statement. No, you stand by your statement. That's okay.
You want me to speak or you want to speak?
No. You have made the statement. You have repeated it several times.
Can I finish? That the LDUs get sticks and whip people extrajudiciously and kill them. Of course, that is not within the law, and it was factually true.
Isaac, you listened to the proposition that the Honorable Mohammed Nsireko was bringing, and at one point I've seen you try to defend the freedom of expression. What do you make of this proposition? Should we get worried?
Thank you, Patrick. I want to start by being very candid. There is no proposition in everything that Honorable Nsireko had said. He has huffed and puffed, blown hot and cold, but said nothing of significance. However, he has revealed a lot about his evolution as a politician and as a citizen of this country. I think it is about time, my former teacher, for you to reflect on your political journey, because you have in this long monologue, shown us the beginning of the fall of the allure, of the hope and promise of a generation that Nsereko once led. You speak of trying to offer alternative advice to the president, but my friend, you sound dictatorial and undemocratic. You have opened up a clear path to hell. You have to take pause and take stock. Let me say a few things that I noted from the monologue that are important. Honorable Nsereko, you would never have gotten leave to introduce this nonsense under Honorable Ulanya. May God bless him to get better. Never. Never. He would have talked to you in a very parental manner and brought the full weight of political experience to dustbin your proposal. If at all. You would never have gotten that leave under the most erudite and experienced Honorable Kadaga. And you've confessed right here on national television that you made attempts to introduce such crookery into the parliamentary hazard, and you flunked. So that's very telling. That's a very important revelation. The other revelation, of course, is...
The parliament is an institution. They are not individuals.
Yeah.
I wonder why you're picking out a few people.
Thank you for
About
schooling
what?
him.
Parliament is an institution.
Yes.
It's not an individual.
Oh, no, so, no. He knows exactly.
It's Parliament
I'm glad that
has
you're
given
schooling
him leave to go and work on this bill. It's
Whoa,
not an individual, or Mr. Sssemakadde.
That's also very revealing, perhaps. Thanks for the clarification. But you see, before Honorable Nsereko gets to speak on the floor of Parliament, his motion or his proposals have to go through the Business Committee, which is chaired by the Speaker. So all I'm saying is that under the past leaderships, he tried and failed to even get the chance to address parliamentarians. But if you say that he has gotten this leave from his colleagues, then again, we have seen an evolution of the generation I said. Because now Mr. Nsereko is a senior parliamentarian.
Okay.
He's a 3-term parliamentarian. He's a senior leader. Honorable Nsereko was once presidential. He ran for speaker. He is not a non-entity. He's one of the most outspoken legislators. That's his record on corruption and governance. Yes, he's quite a man of some substance. At least he has been.
I told you.
Yeyo interview eyaliko ku NTV Uganda.
In this moment in time,
Ssemakadde yetakkaanya n'ebyo ebyali ebimu ebyali byogerwa Muhammad Nsereko naddala ebyali mu tteeka. So nga Nsereko ng'eyali aleeta ebbago lino oba biiru eno mu parliament, yali agezaako okutangaaza ku ebyo ebyalimu. Take an example. Mirundi mingi nnyo ofuna conversations n'omuntu, then you record them. You record the videos without their authorization. You share videos and photos of other people without their authorization. Then if this was singa lino etteeka lyali lirumye bulungi, kitegeeza abantu bangi baali bajja kusibibwa naddala nga bloggers, abantu abakwata video. Nange kennyini okukwata eno video, then I re-upload without any consent. Okukwata ekifaananyi kyange, then you upload it, or insult me in public, or insult me online. That is computer misuse. Kyali kitegeeza nti nno obeera ozizza omusango. Gavumenti okulumika amasimu g'abantu naye yandibadde zizza omusango. So byebyo byonna ebyali bitegekeddwa mu tteeka lino oba ebbago lino eryamala n'eyisibwa parliament negende wa Museveni n'alisayiningako, then court n'erinalifayinga. Njagala nkusiibulira wano amanya nze Mr. Essential Media nze amata agada.
You asked me to reject a community. You ask me to reject a community.
Just let him flow.
You ask me to reject a community. I reject that. I reject that nonsense. Honorable Nsereko is pontificating.
Let him make.
Honorable Nsereko is pontificating.
You know why? He wants to make his poem flow so that he can finish his documentary.
Perfect. You want me to go my monologue the same way? But answer your question.
So answer your question. When you get your documentary that you are recording it,
monologue.
You can. But I want him to flow.
Have the discipline he had to listen to you until you concluded.
So he can flow with his funny documentary.
If anything, he has about 2 minutes to.
Patrick, to answer your question, I'll answer it very shortly. I reject an invitation to accuse a generation. I reject an invitation to accuse a class of people. In fact, that's a sort of hate speech methodology he was offering.
Have you been able to see that some people have used a language that is not palatable, a language that is abusive? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. Yeah, we speak with evidence. Honorable Nsereko has been given 20 minutes.
Isaac
he has been given 20 minutes.
You haven't seen anybody on the internet use a language of profanities, a language that is abusive.
When profanities are used, what reaction do they elicit?
No, you're telling Ugandans you haven't seen people abuse.
Why does it bother you?
Other people.
Yeah.
No, why does it bother you?
No, I just asked a question.
What happened to those people who were abused? Did they die? Did they fall sick?
Okay, that should be the secondary. If you say yes,
because I don't know when you say
you don't
when
know.
People whisper, when people have conversations in the street, I do not hear them. That is social media. Society is talking. That noise drowns out. The only person I can hear right now is only you and only Nsereko. I can't.